All right. We are live here. So, yeah, today I'm just gonna do some random stuff, basically. Mix of sort of programming and doing some graphics and maybe work on some levels and stuff. Let's see. I'm just gonna fix something with the live stream here. 1 second. So yeah, we've been implementing a bunch of monsters and stuff in previous streams, and I'm continuing with defining and doing like the graphics for monsters in the meantime as well. I'm gonna have a couple of more monsters in the first sort of area that we're doing for the demo. And yeah, that's so now I'm trying to just sort of map out the first area and trying to build it a little bit more now that I have some more things that I can put in. So here you can see, actually I should really fix this. I don't want focus to be on. Let's see, where do we do this? Context, I think. And so we have focus. So the mode is not time map. I'm not sure why it sets focus on here. Well, now it's time map, but if we do this, it's not time map, but it's still on here. What if we set this to false? Or is it because it loads? No, but then it should remember my settings in that case. Okay, no. So what if we disable it, go back, and then go back. Okay, so it's still, that's weird. Also, we have override focus here as well. It should be true when right, this one. Right, so it's being used here. I think I'll add override focus here as well, because then we can pass that along. And now so this is tile map. Wait. Oh yeah, so here we should say false because we're drawing the scene. And then here we should say true because we are drawing the time map. Okay. Wait. No, this should be false. Yeah, it's the other way around. It's true if we want to override to set it to false. Yeah, okay. So now you can see the time map is not like transparent, but if you go to the time map editor, you can see it's because you of this you wanna be able to select or see which layer you're working with. But then you go to the scene editor and you don't want to have that. Okay. So there's kind of a new place. Oh, I can't reach the end point here. Let me go over here and see. Wait. This one. Oh, it's like, I don't remember how far, if it's like 7 pixels or whatever, like half a tile maybe. This is too far then, so it's like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and I should really have this sort of automated as well somehow. I'm not really sure how, but so that you don't have to do that. But now we have this exit here, and we'll save this one. We'll go to here, and we can also put an exit here. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then the target is this, and we need to put entrance key right there. So now we can go here. Oh, I should really maybe even center on the entrance where you are going when you shift the scenes. Now I can move to the left and right here. Okay. Cool. Let's actually do that real quick. It shouldn't be that hard to do. So, I hope, at least. Let's see. What was it? Where is this? Where does this exist? Maybe here. And the scene document. Here's the input. Right, so we have it's the menu, that's right. Where is the menu? Here. Oops. Here's the menu. Now let's set, no, let's see. Yeah, here's the entity details. So here we go, here's the exit. Set target, and here's the entrance. Here's the open target scene. So we're opening this file, but then when we have it opened, we also want to set sort of the camera to be something here. So where do we have the camera on the offset. So we should set the camera to, is it the offset or is it the where's the camera controls? Here. It's a target, so we're gonna set the target to be something like the position of the entity. Where was the thing? Here. So we will set We should set like a maybe make it like a function, because this is probably gonna be used more than once. So let's just say focus on entity, or zoom to entity, or pan to entity, I guess you could say. Well, pan is maybe not correct. I mean, it's, to me, pan sort of implies an animation, but I guess move camera. Okay, we need the context, and we need the entity position. So actually, this could be like a grid position. We can have move, well, yeah, move camera to grid position. Grid position. All right. And so we just need to translate this to pixels. Are we doing that somewhere? Here? Yeah, grid position to entity position. I mean, it's really saying grid position to, well, you have the entity type as well. It's calculating the size and then half of. So it's the. So this will be the top left of the tile, and then we say minus half the tile. Wait, wouldn't that be like offset in the wrong direction? And then we add the entity. I think this should be plus here, but okay. So that's like the center of the entity. I mean, I guess that's correct then. We should really have like grid to center of tile then, maybe. Grid position to center of tile. And so we don't need the entity type. We don't need this. We don't. So we have tile size times grid position, right? And then minus. Shouldn't this be plus? Because if 0, 0 is the top left, right? So you're at the top left, right? So this should be plus. I'm pretty sure. No, we don't have this. Okay, so that should be fine. I'm not gonna mess with this function. I'm probably gonna refactor this to this function to use grid position center of tile. But since I've changed how it works, I'm not gonna test this out right now. But now we have this function, so now we can go back to somewhere where we were. Here. Okay, and so we're moving, so we need the center of tile. And then we'll move the camera there, so that's just gonna be the target X. Or, wait, yeah, this is a vector, I think, yeah. Well, this is I32 though, this is... So this should actually be a float type vector, right? Because that's how it's gonna be used. I mean, this doesn't also make sense. Okay, whatever. Let's just do that. Okay, so now we have that. But we need to actually float from int here. And then we have y. Okay, and that should be it, right? And then if we want to move to entity, actually, I mean, we can just use entity position here. So we already had that, so I should have I should have already known that. Okay, so wait. No, grid position to entity position. Okay, so we need a wait. Oh, it's like if you wanna spawn a new one, I think. Or yeah, okay, so it's used here for when you're drawing, when you're dragging a new one. Yeah, and then it's also here. Okay, so I don't think we can use this straight out. I think though what we could do is we could grab this one and then we just need the actual grid position here. So here is that, and we just need the entity type here. Well, I guess do we have like a yeah, here, scene entity, and that's the type. And then we need the position. Okay, and then so we have the position, entity size, right? So well, wait. Isn't it just this now? No, because this is not a grid position, that's right. This is the actual position, so shouldn't we just use this then? Wait, am I just overthinking this here? Entity position. Isn't this enough? Well, we'll try it. So we'll do move camera to entity, and the entity is this guy, which we don't have. Select an entity. Is this nullable? No. Okay. Let's try this. Nice to get some, like, you know, small improvements on stuff. Okay, that did not work. I don't know where we are now. Okay. Let's see if we can open. Okay. Let's see if we can open a new one. Or make a new one. And then. Okay. Let me actually load. Actually, you know what? Maybe we should set like a maximum on the camera. That might also be a good thing. But I'll just add a very simple button. I guess we could add it here as well, but no. Well, we probably have like camera controls, which is like a common, like camera sort of toolbar, which is like a common thing to have. So let's let's just add a button, reset camera. And this will set target to be, I guess, 0. Wait, there we go. Set the camera. Now we'll open this one. There we go. Wait, where did everything go? Oh, this is not this. Yeah, okay, so I have another one that I have not done anything with. Okay, there we go. And now if we do this, but then it doesn't move it to the correct position. So why is that? I guess maybe it should be negative here. Let's try that. No. Let's do this. So we'll do delta. So here I want to log. Maybe we should actually just have. Okay, let's do this. Reset camera. Let's actually also add here. We could do same line, and let's add a label or just text. I think, is this formatted? Yes. Okay, good. So we'll have a camera here, so this will be just, actually let's do that with 0 decimals, and then the values are gonna be the camera target X, target Y. All right. Now let's see. Yeah, now you can see. Okay, we don't actually see it. So let's remove this same line here. Okay, so the decimal thing didn't work. I think you have to. Isn't this how you do it? Okay, there we go. So now we can see the thing there. If we do this now, That looks a bit weird. So this did not work very well. Is this this is signed, so it should that shouldn't be a problem. It's I32 to F32. Why? Wait. Okay. Maybe we're looking into a thing that doesn't exist anymore. Let's check that. Yeah, so we're trying to access this one, which is does not exist anymore, I think. So after we've we've moved the file, so of course, right? Okay, I'm just stupid. I need to find the entity that's the target entrance in the new file. Right now I'm trying to access the old one, so that's of course doesn't work. So we need to find a new entity in the new file. Or yeah, so let's just pretend that we have this function. So well, actually what we could do is we could say let's do entrance key here. So this would be exit. Actually this would be like the metadata. Oh man, no, wait, no, we need okay, you know what, I'm just gonna put us in the center of the scene, because this is gonna be too much of a hassle actually. I mean, do we have the metadata? No, the metadata is like a JSON object that we don't actually know anything about or care about, unless we put it directly in the thing. No, I mean we should probably implement this properly, since we have a concept of exit and entrance entities, and we have that sort of baked into the scene editor. My thought was first that it was going to be very open functionality, but it's always a trade-off, where if you want nice quality of life things like this, it has to be put into the scene editor. So okay, well, anyway, let's just continue on with this. So let's actually just put this in the center here, because the thing is we have a target scene, but we don't have like the target entrance key, which we could get from a JSON, from the JSON structure, but then we have to parse that. There's going to be a whole thing, and we also need a type for that. And then when we move the camera to the target, we also need to retrieve that entity from that scene. I mean, it's not that it's a super complicated thing, it's just makes things a little bit more complicated. Let's see if we actually have this thing here. So we have the exit. All of these should have like a metadata, right, somewhere. Yeah, it's in the entity itself, I think. Yeah. So we do have that, but we don't have like a we don't have the metadata special, like the type that the exit can have. Yeah, I mean, the scene editor could be more generic, but you can define sort of an interface where all the entities has like, they can have an icon, which is the graphic that you want to have when you see it in the scene. And then you can say, you can have sort of that settings kind of thing. And then you can have what this entity type is going to have for configuration, and then you have a whole language for what type of configuration you can have. So you can have you have like this metadata object, which is an object, and you can have strings, and you can have numbers, and they can have field names and stuff like that. So you could have that, and then it will automatically, produce a sort of form that you can fill in these things, and then you can make the scene to work with whatever game you want to do. So that's kind of the idea of this editor. It's not supposed to be very well. It is supposed to be very specific for this game right now, but I thought that in the long run I could use it for other games as well, so that so that I can do that and be more productive with that. But it's also fun to build this thing, and the idea was to have sort of a game editor that is not what do you say? It's supposed to be sort of agnostic with what kind of backend you have for running the game. While things like Unity and Unreal Engine and the other ones that exist today are more... I've not actually looked up if there's more things like this, actually, but the big ones is supposed to be as easy as possible to just get you going, but and then they have all the runtime and stuff baked in. But this one is supposed to be more like, you can use it, but you only get like JSON objects out, or JSON files out, and you can use those in a game engine of your choosing to run the actual game. So that's kind of the idea. So you build the game with the editor, but then you can use whatever backend you want if you want to build a new one, or if you want to switch out some things, or try it with different stuff. You can even interface it with you probably want to use the other editors if you're gonna do that. But well, that's the idea anyway. And we're building in small steps and see where we'll end up here. But let's see now. So let's see where we are here. Okay, anyway. Let's try and focus here. So, what were we doing? Oh yeah, I was re-familiarizing myself with this entity stuff here. So, we are probably not going to be able to do this right now unless we want to do a whole bunch of more work here. So if we had the entity, we could do that. So let's just pretend here that, well, first we need the target entrance. Well, that's okay. Let's get the key. Okay, I'm not even sure if we probably don't need the context for that. And then, so given that we have that, now we can get the target entrance entity. Get target entrance entity, and well, actually it should be like get entrance by key. Right, and then we can do this. Okay, but since we don't have that, I'm gonna do this. And then I'm gonna say just reset the camera, and it's gonna be target X 0. So let's actually move this to reset camera. I actually need the context as well. Man, I'm missing a lot. Okay. And here we need the context. Okay, so we should probably reset the zoom as well. So let's do that. This would be 1, I think. There we go. So now, even if you're, let's say you are like, you want to move here. Let's say you're in a large like scene or whatever, and you move to the target. Even if it's very small like this one, you won't get like end up something along this here. So you will always, at least now you can go to the target without that. Okay, cool. So in the end, it turned out it was actually quite hard to do what I was trying to do. Well, it's not that hard, it's just that there are some sort of implications that you don't want to have, basically, with that. Okay, so now we have this, the idea here with this type of scene. If you can see here, this is more green. This part is more like sort of dead environment, and the idea is that you're venturing into this more dead environment, and you're gonna defeat a boss or something, and then stuff is gonna happen. So all my entities or things here right now are actually, they are sort of mapped from or the graphics is more like supposed to be from in a green area, but I think I will have to make variants that is supposed to be more of this like sort of dead area. So as you can see here, this is like here's the dead variant of this one. They are matching almost 1-to-1 here, but I only need to make that graphics there. So it's gonna be kind of obvious where the enemies are if they are actually, you know, these things here. Although I was thinking maybe I could put some enemies actually like, or not enemies, maybe I could put some, you know, living among this dead, so it's not entirely everything is dead, it's more like some of it is and some of it's not, but then still it's gonna be obvious where the enemies are. So alright, and now we can just press play to test this now, which is kind of nice. Oh yeah, another thing that I want to do. Oops. Oh, I'm using this. Okay, we have a problem here. These tiles are actually. These ones are like the black tiles, which are actually set as collidable. So it's this one. So I think I don't have another sort of black tile here. Okay, so I have to change the tile map. Okay. I'll just add one here. A little bit of time. All right. Right. So, but yeah, it would be interesting to see if SIG has some library that could help with, you know, making a form type thing that you can like automatically deal with. It's not gonna be super hard to actually do something like that yourself. It's just gonna be this sort of recursive algorithm. You're gonna go through a structure, and each, I mean, it's like a JSON object. It's like everything is dynamic. It can be anything. But it's also gonna be like a definition. So it's gonna be like, okay, maybe you have a string. Maybe you say, okay, the string is supposed to be maximum size. Is gonna have maybe even a requirement on it, like it's supposed, it has to adhere to some regular expression or something like that. It's all like, or you have a number input, which is it integers, is it floating, is it whatever. Okay, so now this one is done. Let's export it to that. So that would be kind of cool if we get to that point. Okay, so now it's this layer, and I'm gonna set the tile to this one, and I'm gonna fill in the ones that I can see has that thing. I think this one is also, and these ones as well. Yeah, and then here, this one, that one as well. And that, and I think that's it. So let's test this now and see. There we go. Whoops. What's this crash? That's interesting. Okay, let me run the game. See? Okay, very strange. I'm not actually sure why this, what this crash could be. Seg fault. Okay. Is it a timing issue? We're trying to get to the monster body, but then how would that... Okay, let me go here. It would be interesting to know if this is a one, or if it's only occurring here. You see, here we get the thing directly, so would it be the player? No, that should not change. Because what I was thinking is maybe... wait. So it's the spawn thing. Okay, let me check this again here. Also, I should really fix the crash in the game over. Okay, it's a really weird timing thing. Let's see. Okay. Is that consistent? No. Wow, it's really inconsistent. Let me check the last crash here if it's the same error. Yes, it's the same place. Okay. So it's when we're waiting to spawn and we're checking the distance. It's kind of weird because we're getting this rigid body out. Oh, wait. Okay, let me just double check this because I think when we destroy an entity, yeah, when we destroy an entity that has a physics body, we want to also remove that physics body. I'm not sure if that's the issue here, but because this feels like this is like you're trying to access the monster body, but it doesn't it points to bad data. Could it be? Yeah, we're spawning the variants. Maybe it has something to do with this because that it felt like that had something to do with it. We're doing that at the end of the thing though. And so really we need to, when we destroy something, actually we probably should have a special function for that in utils. Yeah. Destroy entity. So we need to register. So what we need to do, we need to get the physics system. From the game engine here. And then we need to just remove body. Now yeah, this is kind of weird because this actually removes the entity as well. It destroys the entity. So I don't think that's a good thing. When removing the rigid body, it should only like affect this physics container thing. But I guess it's fine. I mean, as long as we know now that the entity is actually removed from here. So now we should use this one instead of just calling destroy on registry itself to make sure that we actually have a rigid body. And what we could do is we could even say if has rigid body entity, right? Then we do this. Otherwise, we just say destroy. So if we have a rigid body, that means we should remove it from the physics system. If we don't have a rigid body, we just destroy it. it feels kind of bad to have this weird sort of interrelationship between the physics system and the ECS. It feels like there should be one way to do things, but yeah, I guess it's kind of necessary to have it like this for now. I don't really have a good idea for how to fix that problem right now, unless you want to have some weird like abstract interface towards the registry maybe, or yeah, the entities in general. You could make your own like interface with it. Okay, so now instead of calling registry.destroy, we want to say utils.destroy entity like this. Okay, hopefully that gets rid of the issue. Now let's also look at all the other places where we have this. So, okay. Set win height to no. How do I do this? Okay, let's do this. Then this and that. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think it's minus. There we go. So we have this one should be the only place actually where we do this, I think. Yeah, here we do this already. But now we can do destroy entity. Or destroy entity. Or this is. Let's actually do this now. There we go. Okay, and destroy on touch as well. And we need utils here. And here we have the same thing. There we go. So now we search for destroy, and this one is the only one that does it. Cool. Alright. So now we have to just remember that we want to do that when we destroy things. But hopefully we got most of those kind of things in components now anyway, so this is kind of a special case. I mean, I guess we could technically just add a death component to the entity and set it to be destroyed like the next frame or something like that. We could do that also. Because it's gonna be a bit weird with the timing. Maybe that's the issue actually in the end, is we call this method in some weird timing and then later on something else is happening which relies on that thing. I don't know. So maybe it's better to actually just add the death component. I think we could do that. Death. I mean, maybe that should also like destroy entity, mark entity for death, maybe. We don't have this pattern. Maybe this. No. Player. So we do have it here. here we're adding this and destroy at, which is like should destroy if we have, so it has to have a destroy at, which we could just set to 0 to make it be actually destroyed. Otherwise it would have the death component, which is sort of just lingering. Then and the entity never gets removed. So let's grab this part. Well, actually, we should probably have this sort of in a, yeah, let's do, wait, actually, let's just do this for now. So we'll grab this, we'll go to utils, and we will have mark entity for death. We will add the death component, and destroy at is going to be just 0 here. Alright. And instead of doing this, we do mark for death. Okay. Just so we don't like mess up some weird timing. Let's just double check these as well. So we have utils fine. This one should be fine. Yeah. Destroy and touch is also like, I don't know. Because I was thinking like maybe this should be the only place where we actually destroy. And all others will actually mark things to be dead instead of like here for example, here's the like we're destroying. Oh yeah, destroy and touch. So here we destroy it. Okay, I'm gonna fix that when there's a need for it. I'm not gonna have that right now, because what I was thinking is maybe other things will happen in death as well, so it's nice if we route everything to here as a center point to where things are destroyed, and we'll take care of that instead of having all these different places where you can destroy the entity. Okay. So let's see if we can get this error now. It seemed to be some weird conditional thing. I don't see the error. Yet. There we go. Okay, so we still get some weird error. Is it the same now? Is the question. Yes, it's the same place again. Okay. Well, these ones are kind of hard because it's not always happening, and yeah, you have to know. It's kind of hard to catch, like, what is the reason for this? How would we do that? Maybe because it seemed also to have something to do when attacking. It seems to happen when we attack also. Yeah, and hitting maybe something as well. No? Is it a time? Is it only like a time thing? Super weird. Do I have to hit this? It seems to only happen in relation to these other monsters. That's like the new monster that's this monster here, when it spawns. Maybe it's... No. Very strange. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna figure anything out by doing this. I was just trying to see if there was a pattern that I could like reproduce this, because that's also part of the problem with this, is how do you confirm that this actually works now, is without a clear pattern of that. I mean, if we find out the cause of it, we might be able to set up a test to actually test this. What we could do though is we could go to our editor and we could actually add a whole bunch of these enemies, because I believe this is part of the problem perhaps. I'll just add a bunch of these and we'll see if that is the actual problem. Let's just add a whole bunch of those. Okay, so that resulted in an error there. Let's see if we can get some logs. Okay, the sound here. Okay, so we do it kind of. So it does happen even though we're not attacking, which makes sense, you know, in a way. I'm just gonna move to the left. Okay, so now we can get sort of a consistent way of triggering the error, which is really good. Okay. Now we need to find out a way to get some information about what's happening. Hello, Philip. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? We're just trying to figure out an error here. Let's see. Yeah, so we need to get some information out of what's happening. So it's kind of weird because this view, we're getting the body out of the view. Does this like copy something, or does it just... Let me check here, for example. Are we doing something weird in this loop? So we are checking for damage. And well, here we're spawning... We are spawning particles, but that's just adding a new one there. Okay. Okay. The thing is, it's kind of hard to check if the monster is... Well, actually, what we could do... 584. I even remember the line name now. By now. Okay, so what we can do is... We know that on this line we're actually crashing. So what we could do is we could log here. We could log... the entity, well, information about the entity here. So, for example, we can log the type. So let's do that. Let's do, it doesn't matter, debug. So let's do entity type, and it's gonna be tag name. Wait, not entity.type, it's gonna be the monster AI type. So since type, oops, come on. Since type is, this is an enum, we can use tag name to get this string here, or the name as a string, so we can see what type it is. Okay, and so then we can know, okay, which monster is actually causing this issue. Well, I mean, it might not be the monster that actually causes the issue, but... Okay, there we go. We got it again, even though I didn't move until... Okay, so is it this guy? So this guy is the last one. Okay, let's see if this is consistent now, because it might actually not be consistent on like which monster is the one causing this. No, so you can see here that now it's this type that causes the issue here. So yeah. It's in the update for the monster. It's because we are iterating through these entities while we are destroying things that we shouldn't actually do. So we shouldn't destroy them, we should mark them for death in that case. So for example, this guy, but now we are marking it for death, so we're not destroying it, we are just adding the death component there. And if we look for other places where we actually call destroy, let's do registry. Well, actually, let's do restore entity. We can see we have damage on touch, we have destroy on touch, and those things happen that they don't happen during the monster update phase. So it's kind of weird that if that was the case, like while we're going through these things, oh wait, it's because we're spawning new ones. Maybe that's the issue. So maybe we can't actually spawn new things until a certain phase in the frame. Right, that actually makes a lot of sense. We could wait until we're done with this iterator, because we're gonna get new entities that match this one. So I think that might be the issue, actually. Why would that be? Why would? So this crash because of that, though? Maybe something weird happens, like something undefined happens in the view itself when you do this. Well, that's good to know. So no, we don't add things or remove things while iterating here. So that means that we have to actually, well, what we do for other ones, we do, we save a we save like a spawn thing here. So let's just, well, a list, link to spawn is a array list. We need annotator, and this is actually we could, what do we actually need for spawning? We need this one, we need entity, we need a bunch of stuff. Let's just do entity. Yeah. So it also means all of these other things are, well, they're not gonna be able to spawn things or destroy things. So I think in the end we want to have a more generic way to actually spawn new enemy, or yeah, spawn things, because of this issue. So we're gonna have a, maybe like a, you add an entity that has a spawn component or something, and then you have a spawn system that goes through that. We could actually do that right now. Why not? You know, spawn is probably gonna be pretty simple. So we'll have spawn component, and we could probably just have a function. Because what we want to do is we want to have a function that we're gonna call to spawn the thing, because we don't know which components it's gonna have and all that, unless we make an entirely new registry maybe for that entity. I guess you could do that also. You could make a sub-registry that only has that entity in it, and when it reaches this point, it grabs all the entities out from this registry and adds it into the other registry, into the main registry, and then sort of destroys this registry. It's a bit of work though, I guess. Then you have to like copy everything else over 2 times. It's sort of like double work. I mean, it probably doesn't really matter that much, but because the thing is with having a function, it's gonna be like very open-ended to what you can do. You can do anything, but I guess it's fine. I mean, let's have a function like spawn function, which is a function that takes the registry and I guess we can give it an entity. Maybe. Or it returns an entity. No. Why would it need to do that? It doesn't really need to do anything. It just needs to accept the registry and then do whatever it wants to do and then quit, right? Void. Yeah. Default. Could we do this? See, I'm not sure how you can do this. Could you do this so you have so you can have a pointer to this type, right? And then yeah, that's it. And then the system gonna be a struct, and we're gonna have an update function. And yeah, we're just gonna go through these guys. Yeah. And then there's gonna be like a rule here. You cannot spawn components from this. Because yeah, it's not gonna work. Forget this one here and yeah, and so we have the entity. No, it's just gonna be iterator. So this is gonna be spawn. So I mean, we're just gonna call. Wait, couldn't we do for view raw? Why does this not work? I mean, I'm so okay. And then we call spawn function with registry. Well, I mean that's it. We don't need really to do anything else here, right? Which is very open-ended. You can do anything in this function, which is why I don't really like this very much. But spawning a new entity is so complex right now, so you kind of need it to be a specific sort of function. I mean, we do have the initialize monster function, which takes a couple of parameters and can spawn any monster right now. But then there's also specific things happening for each monster as well. So we'll have it like this for now, and then maybe in the future when we have a more sophisticated sort of entity definition system, then we might be able to generalize spawning a monster by more than the type and the position, you know, because now, well, actually, you know what, we kind of already have a way to spawn the monsters. I mean, we do have a way to spawn the monsters from a monster type and a position like this, but we don't have one for these, like the individual spawny things from these ones, I guess. So I guess we would sort of need a separate thing for this. This is more like the spawner of these monsters, and then they spawn like, yeah, it's actually, maybe that makes more sense. This is like two different types of monsters. that has, and this monster has variants as well. Well, I guess the spawner is like one variant of these actually also, but okay, anyway, so I guess we actually have a way to do that, but we don't, but we need to build out so that we can spawn this with a certain variant in that case. I would have to think a little bit about more how to do this, but it makes sense to separate them maybe into two different or types of monsters then. And the spawner will just die instantly, and the spawnees will be a different monster type. Well, I'll create one monster type for the spawner. Yeah. Maybe I can do that right now, actually. Instead of having it as a variant here. Which this has also been like the odd one out here that we don't really need. Or doesn't really fit here. Right? Yeah, it makes way more sense. Let's do spawner. I'll just copy this over. And this one is now spawner. Cool. And we don't have variants for this one. We don't have variant data. And we don't have this. We don't have that. We don't have this. We don't have that. We don't have this. We don't have that. We do have hitbox. We don't have this. So I think the hitbox should be sort of the same, maybe. Well, maybe not actually, but whatever. Okay, init entity. So this one should stay the same, except we don't need this now. Okay. Now we should have this one also spawn variants, but it's gonna be a bit different. We're gonna use the spawn system now. We don't have this one, we're not gonna be able to use. This one we don't have. We don't have a walk animation. And we are not doing this, I don't think. And we don't have this. And we don't have this. And we don't have this. We don't have this. And we don't have this. And we don't have these. Okay. So we only have, you know, the spawn thing. Variant is going to be oh yeah, we need to import probably a lot of things here that we actually don't need now. Okay, so we clear that out. All right. Yeah, and we need to import this guy. that should be good. Alright. So actually, what we are doing here is we should actually just call init entity on this guy now. For all these different variants. So you will have a variant as well. And then this doesn't make sense. So all of this until the end here should be put in here now. Okay. Alright, we need this there. Okay. Reason. Oh. Okay, we need reason as well. Wait, do we need reason? Yes. And I guess this would be a spawn reason now, not end spawn reason, but whatever. Alright. And then here we just move all this. And here we actually wanna need, we need the variant and reason. Don't need you, don't need you. All right. So here, what's happening? Yeah, we don't need this guy anymore. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Just checking if there's any of these functions that we need to get rid of as well. Okay, but now, yeah, now we've separated all that. So if we go here now, here we actually need to add spawner. Right, let's come back here later. But this one is, oh yeah, so if it's this one, it's actually the spawner that we need to deal with. There. Okay, so now we have this separate type that we're dealing with instead. If we go to our spawn system now, and we'll add a spawn function which takes well, this is basically gonna be the same function as this function. Well, it's, yeah, we're gonna take this part of this function, put it in a new function here, and we are going to get entity. This is actually the scene entity. type. And registry. We need draw layer. Oh yeah, we need T. Alright. And so we don't actually need a spawn function. We could just steal the entity definition here from scene.entity. Actually. Oh yeah, this is shadowed now, so let's just do this. And we'll say we'll spawn. Oh, now we need, wait, no, yeah. And here we also need monster draw layer. Oops. And T. So this is actually specific for monsters now in this way. But now we also want to be able to okay, I'm gonna make a stupid decision here. Maybe. Because this is called battling, which is the spawner. You should really rename this to spawner and then keep the old one for the small guys. But that's gonna cause issues in the editor now. I was thinking of doing this, call this battling spawn instead, and then keep this like this. Okay, let's do that. It's stupid, but let's do it. Spawner. Where did it go? Oh. Is that the issue? Spawner. Yeah. Let's get rid of that. This one. Fine. So they're called differently, which is really bad. And this is stupid. No, I'm just gonna do this. Okay, I'll fix it. Right. Okay, this is, yeah. We'll do that. We have to redo the whatever it's called. We need a spawn system. Wait, this is name registry. This is entity. Wait, no, this is, yeah, it's the spawn scene entity. Yeah. Set. We need to dereference it. Draw layer is always going to be draw layer monster. Let's just do that. T is game.t. Alright. There we go. Oops. Okay. Is this the only error left? No? Okay. So I have to redo the... Actually, I don't think I have any of those in... Oh, we might... Yeah, we have one monster in the first place. Okay, and then in the editor, we actually have to go... Wait, scene. And then this is a spawner. We'll add one for that, I guess. No, wait, no. We only have for the spawner. But then we could just do spawner like that. Oops. Why is it doing that? Okay, I don't trust that rename thing. Okay, let's just do it manually. Oops. Now we just search for this. Yeah, but it's called the other one. Okay. Here. All right. Wait, this is the wrong one. Okay, was it unable to open it now? Okay, so I think it was unable to open it because the name of the entity does not match. So let's actually open up this. I will search for this guy. Oh, well, I guess we could do this. And open up this guy. Okay, there we go. So now these are correct. And oh, but that one crashed now. And let's also, I think, if we open up this one, no, not this one, this one, this also crashes. So this is forced entrance. And let's do the same substitution there. And let's open up forest entrance. There we go. And here's our entity there. The game is crashing for some reason. Oh yeah, we don't have... We haven't done this yet. Okay, so we got that sorted out. Now, let's actually, if we remove this, well, I mean, let's just initialize this. Advocator, I mean, I don't know, let's do 16 of those. It's just a U64 or something, U32 or whatever. And objection reachable. Okay. And then down, let's remove that. Where is the spawn thing? Oh yeah, we are actually spawning a rock as well when we attack. Although that happens, I guess, in a different phase, or does it? No, it doesn't. But the rock does not have a monster AI component, so I guess it's fine. Although that would technically also be eligible for this system. Well, anyway. Where is this happening? Wait, I thought I was, yeah, here, spawn variance. So we're spawning a variance, but we are not, we don't want to do it now. That's right. So we don't, oh yeah. So we don't actually need this list here. Okay. And this one is actually need a spawner. We spawn the variance. However, we actually don't spawn it now. Wait. No, this. Oh yeah. Needs to be like that. Okay, so this one, we don't initialize entities. We do spawn. So we'll do create entity for spawning, I guess. Kind of weird name, but the idea is we create the entity that's gonna spawn in the spawn step or in the spawn phase or whatever. And what information do we need for that? Well, we need the thing here. Yeah, we need more information for this one though. Yeah. So we actually need this. Which needs a variant. So let's grab master type. Yeah. Okay. What else did we need? So this is gonna be variant and reason as well. I think we might be able to hard code the reason here. We'll see. So after draw layer, we put variant, and then the reason. This is just gonna be. Well, we might be able to put this on the actual spawn component itself. Actually. Okay. Let's make a function here for convenience. Come on. Okay. So now the reason is actually on this guy. Yeah, we can just put the reason here then. Yeah. The variant. Oh yeah, variant is on this one. Okay. Whoa. We got many errors now. But let's not get deterred. So the reason here is this. Okay. I guess we could call it like default as well. Draw layer. Wait. Oh. Burning spawner has no memory. Okay. So let's make a default from that one. So if has declaration can aggro. Wait, is it now? It's a field. Now it's a declaration. It's a I think that's a declaration. Then we return. Otherwise, we return false. What? Oh. Okay. Well, we don't want to set idle on dude. I guess we could do the same thing here. If we don't have it, then nothing happens, I guess. If has declaration platform s set idle, then we call you don't have this. You do not have any attacks. I guess that could be a setting, like you could have it on the type maybe itself, or you would have like an inline else that catches like what is the configuration, maybe do it like a comp time type thing, perhaps, instead of having to deal with this every time. So then you explicitly state on the monster type itself instead of having to go through all of this each time. That would be kind of nice, I guess. And this one, and we don't have any attack. And this one is what? The just normal update. This is walking. I think. Yeah. Which we're not doing with this one, so I'm just gonna do nothing. Well, it's gonna be unreachable actually. Yeah. I'm not gonna get into that state. Okay, what's happening here? Yeah, the draw layer. Needs to be a component. And there we go. Now this is just U32. So do we create that? No. Wait. This is confusing. Because this guy, yeah, these ones U32. Which one did? Oh, you and you. Why? Wait, what? No, this doesn't make sense. Wait, why are you all? Oh, wait. No, this one. Yeah, these guys wants U32, but this guy doesn't want U32. So that's the odd one out. So we actually don't want this guy. We want U32 there. I want to handle this the way we handle it. Otherwise, so we'll put that, yeah, init monster, that's right. But this one, so we don't have init monster here, or do we? Yeah, so we just do this then. Oh, because, yeah, because earlier we grabbed the draw layer, whatever it was from the other monster, so we just reused it. Okay, fine. And now here we need to pass dot set here. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think we got rid of all the things. What's actually the difference here? Let's try and run this now. Probably gonna crash. Nope. Oh, we still crash. Okay. So we didn't actually do it, but did we? Okay. Are we missing something? Yeah, probably. Let's go back to where we actually, I think it's the monster. So here, spawn variants. Yeah. So we're still doing this. So what we want to do, we don't initialize the entities here. We actually create those. We do utils mark. No, spawn. Yeah, create for spawning. Oh yeah. So we're making this function, and we'll create a new entity. So we need the registry. Okay, and now we will add the spawn component to this entity. We need to grab the spawn component. Now this file is turning into some, it's gonna be very generic and very large in the long run, so maybe section off a little bit later, but okay. So we've got this now. Maybe it's good that it has everything in it, so then you can search it more easily maybe for things. Okay, but anyway, right. So now we need scene.entity. Let's see. Yeah, ID doesn't matter. I wonder if we can default this. Yeah, so you can just do this, and then this one is like whatever, and then you can just do that. Alright, that should be fine. So the type is this, and then the variant is, wait, what the hell am I doing here? No, I'm not creating the entity here, I'm passing it in from above there. So that's the scene entity, yeah. And then we need the reason as well. Okay. So we need the scene entity and the reason. Do we actually need the yeah, we need the reason. Okay. All right. I don't think we need the result either. So, and that's it actually. So now over here we can create this entity now. So we need to do. Wait, what the hell is this? Oh, this is the registry, right? Now we need to get this. So this is gonna be type is this guy, and the variant is the variant. Okay. And the position is the position. All right. And then it's gonna be this. And we don't do view anymore. So we don't. Wait, we can pass the reason on. Oh, right. So we pass the reason on. We don't need this. Okay. We don't need this. All right. So. Oh, joy, what's this? I've never seen this one. Interesting. Wipe mem.length, enable to evaluate comp time expression. Crypto, TLCSPRNG. Oh, okay. I know. It's probably the U. So we cannot call this in a comp time thing, I don't think. Well, okay. Let's. Well, we could have a function in it with random ID, and then we just pass in position, type, I'm sorry if you hear sort of a drilling in the background here. My neighbor is drilling, and this entire house is built with some concrete, so every time people want to put stuff on the walls or whatever, the whole building knows. Really loud. Okay. Consider using oh, okay, let's just call this entity type then, I guess. There. Okay, right, so now we can actually say .init instead. Well, we need new first here, so we actually need to import this now, which we didn't actually need to do before. So, but that's gonna change in the new version. So in the new or it has changed in the new version. In the new version, you can actually, instead of typing it all out, if you know, if the target sort of type is known, then you can just put .init and it will call like the declaration function, the function init from the type. So you don't, it's gonna infer what the type is you is gonna put here. So that's really nice. I mean, yeah, that's insanely nice, but we don't have that in this version. But I am gonna upgrade, and I've been checking for the versions that are actually available. So actually, let me check the status on this, because it has been moving forward quite quickly actually. Yeah, it looks almost complete now actually. We have some bugs, but all the main stuff. So yeah, it's coming along quite nicely. It's really nice to see. They've got some people actually working on the language that have you're paid and stuff. Would be cool to actually join that, but I don't think I'm qualified for that. Well, let's see. Create expected 3 arguments, found 4. Well, and I'm also working on this project right now, so whatever. Expected 3 arguments, found 4. You want? Oh yeah. Wait. All right. I called it the thing there. And okay, now I actually get good sort of completion there. There we go. Okay. No more compiler errors. So now we are not creating the entities while iterating through the list. So you get more entries into the list while iterating, and hopefully this fixes the issue. However, this also means that, well, right now they are actually not going to get spawned because we haven't. We're not calling the spawner system. Actually able to hit something there. That's weird. Probably the spawner itself. But okay. Anyway, so now we go to game and we go to the update function, and we need to put the spawn system somewhere. Do we do it after monster system, or it doesn't really matter, I don't think. Maybe before update animations and sounds, or even before health system, because actually we should maybe put it here. Okay, I'm just gonna put it here, and then if we run into issues, we need to fix it later. But for now, this is probably gonna work nicely here. There we go. Oh, got some errors. Okay, right, so you need reason which exists on the actual thing itself, so we should be the reason there. Okay, there we go. Now let's see. Oh, okay, so we get a we get a crash again, so interesting. Is it the same? Maybe that wasn't the issue at all. Oh, we got some out of bounds stuff. Oh, okay. I understand what's happening. We spawn, and then the spawners actually exist for the next frame as well. So they're gonna spawn each frame. We're gonna spawn a new monster here. So after we've spawned the monster, we also want to destroy all of these. So can we do destroy from the view? No. We have to iterate through them. Yeah. So we'll do data this time. We'll get the entity and we'll do... But can you actually do that from within this? Like, will this change because we're removing them? We have to like copy this thing, right? Okay. This is probably gonna also crash something. I'm just gonna copy it for security reasons. So let's grab the allocator. Let's do entities to destroy is going to be view data. So this is going to be allocator. Wait. Why do I not? Okay. Duplicate this type. Reachable. So now we have, apparently we don't have const entities, right? Why is this? Why does it say unknown? Okay. Anyway, entities to destroy, entity. Okay, I guess the compiler will tell us if something is weird here. So, yeah, I think now it's safe to just destroy the thing because it's not gonna have like a rigid body or anything. So we'll destroy those there. All right. Okay. Oh yeah, and also we need to free this afterwards. There we go. Yeah, I don't understand how, like, we know the type here, and this, I mean, we put in the type here, but this one, it doesn't understand the type. Anyway, let's see now if this works. Okay, there we go. let's try this again. I'm sorry for the if it's loud now. I'm just testing out a crash. Oh, we got the crash. We got some crash again. I might remove the sound later, but why is? Oh my God! It's the same. No, it's not the same. Wait. Okay, this might be related to the same issue in the end here. Because, well, the issue that we're trying to solve is basically we're iterating through the entities and doing some updates while changing the number of entities. So either removing or adding entities. And I'm just going through to check if we're actually doing anything of that like that. So we have solved the issue where it's spawning a bunch of things, but it seems like we still get some issues here. So this is the same thing. We're trying to get the body in the distance. It's not the same place though, where we got the other error. That's the same. I guess it's the same loop though. But now in here we're not actually creating anything anymore. We are just actually we are creating an entity, but we're not creating an entity in of the same type. So we're not getting like this view is only for monster AI component rigid bodies, which we're not modifying at all here anymore. But let's see here. So we're going through each of these things. Now what is actually, why does it do it like this? We're updating idle walk. Well, that's where the error happens. Is it anywhere else where we actually like remove stuff? And I mean, I know in here we actually spawn a rock, but the rock doesn't have monster AI though. It only has a rigid body and some other stuff. Animation instance. Yeah, it doesn't have monster AI. So it's probably not that. We also have like destroy on touch, but wait, what else could it be? Wait, no, because we're marking for destruction, yeah. Let's see, I think I have to leave here soon. Yeah. So yeah, I've run out of time here, but I have to put this up as a bug here. Crash in monster update, where probably crash in monster update when accessing a rigid body. Already solved where we spawn new monsters in the loop. Look for other places where we Alright, so that's... yeah. I mean, it's good that we found it, because it sort of changes sort of the way that we think about these updates and these different steps. Make it more set up as a... yeah, having different steps and phases where things are happening. And that's good, because then those things have the responsibility of doing those things, so you get more control over it as well. I think. Well, at least I hope. Okay, so anyway, that's gonna be it for this time. But I'll continue and try to get on streaming here in the week. We'll see whenever I can be on here, but thanks for everyone tuning in and watching, and